Not all canned chicken is created equal. Of these 12 leading brands, some of them are not worth your time and certainly not worth your money. But which ones are the best value? Which ones taste the best? Which ones will you be glad to have in your prepper pantry when the time comes for making those chicken recipes that you like? In this video, we're going to find out. Welcome to the Chef Prepper channel. My name is Les, and this is the second of a three-part series. In part one, we compared the ingredients. One stands out above all the rest. We also looked at the nutrition labels to see which one gives you the most for your money. And a couple of them stand out above the rest of them. We also saw how they look compared to one another. Be sure you check out part one of the series. And here in part two, we're going to look at these things. The bowls all identified properly, all 12. Now I'm going to put each one into a labeled bowl and weigh the contents of the can. Make sure we get what we pay for. There is a slight amount left in the can, but they'll all be done the same way. They'll each have a little bit left in the can, no doubt, like this. I will be cleaning the spoon between each can. All 12 cans out in a bowl. Some have rib meat, some don't. Also, some just have chicken and water only. I'll let you see the difference in how those how they look. There's our empty cans. Meyer, Kreider, Sam's, Chestnut Hill, Costco, Tyson, Clover Valley, Swanson. Great value. Remember, it's a 5-ounce can, not a 12.5. Keystone's a 14.5. Hargis House, Kroger. Here they are arranged. Just chicken and sea salt for Keystone. You can see the sea salt drew out a lot of water still from the meat. Meyer, Sam's, Remember's Mark, and Kroger. These are all three chicken, salt, and water, nothing else. And the rest have various other ingredients. Next, we're going to weigh the contents to make sure that we get what the can says we're getting. All of the weights will be in ounces, and a bowl, empty bowl by itself is 0.12 ounces. When I weigh each of these bowls, I'm not going to account for that 0.12 ounce because there is an ever so slight amount left in each can. So we're going to call that equal. Kroger, 13.25 ounces. Sam's or Member's Mark, 13.11 ounces. Meyer, 13.14 ounces. Tyson, 12.86 ounces. Keystone, remember Keystone was in a 14.5 ounce can, 14.52. Swanson, 12.90. Tyson, 12.80. Chestnut Hill, it was a 9.75 ounce can, 10.58. Costco, Kirkland, 12.65. Kreider, 12.44. Clover Valley, this one was a 10 ounce can, not 12.5. 10.03. Hargis House, 12.44. And last but not least, or in this case it was the least, it was only a 5 ounce can, 5.2. No problems with each brand giving us what they say they are going to give us. To weigh the meat content, I am just pouring the water or the broth off of the chicken. There's no gravy to rinse off. Clean it out for each one. All 12 cans, after having the broth drained off of them. Close-ups. I'll spread that one out for you guys in a few minutes when I do the taste test. I know some of you are wondering why. The reason why I collected all the broth in one bowl is because after I finish making the video, bowls of chicken are going to all be put into the broth in a larger container. And then Mrs. Cheffprepper is going to use all the different chickens as the same as if they were one. And she's going to make a few things for us to have here for the next several days. So it won't go to waste, folks. So how much meat do we get in each one? Kroger. 7.54 ounces. Members Mark from Sam's Club, 7.64. Meyer, 6.93. Tyson, 7.44. Keystone, remember this was a larger can slightly, 14.5 ounces to begin with. 9.5 ounces. Tyson, 7.44. Swanson, 8.04. Chestnut Hill, which started out as a 9.75 ounce can rather than 12.5, 6.14 or 5. Kirkland from Costco, 7.95. Kreider, 7.36. Clover Valley, which started out as a 10 ounce can rather than 12.5, 6.16. Hargis House from Save-A-Lot, 7.81. The Hargis House canned chicken performed much better than the Hargis House roast beef, which you can see in this video. Great value. And this one started out as a 5 ounce can, 3.27. On the screen are some results of what we just got through looking at. The brands in alphabetical order, the weight of the can contents as stated on the can, the actual amount of weight of meat in each can, the percentage of the can content that is actually meat, percent of weight that is actually chicken is pretty close amongst all 12 cans, but we'll come back to that. Brand with the highest percentage was Great Value, and the brand with the lowest percentage was Meyer. The actual weight of the meat in each can is very consistent with the size of the can. Some of them have quite a bit more meat than others, but they started out as a bigger can. The thing to really consider here, in my opinion, is the percentage of the weight that is actually meat. If we extrapolated Great Value out to a 12.5 ounce can, the weight of the meat would be 8.4 ounces, making it the winner for the amount of meat per can, followed very closely by Keystone and then Swanson's. The winner based on the actual amount of meat, first, second, third. I'm going to taste the first one. I'm going to give it a rating of 3. Not because it's good, bad, just to have a basis to go by. And I'm going to rate them all on the scale of 1 to 5. Tyson. All right, Tyson gets the rating of 3, and each one will be rated based upon that foundational tasting. Keystone is next. Looks a little different after breaking up the clump. Keystone, sorry Keystone fans, I'm going to have to rate it 2.5. Great Value. A 2.5, but it has a lot different taste than the first two. Members Mark from Sam's. It too is going to be I'll give this one 2.75. Kreider. It has a very watery taste. I'm going to give it a rating of 2.0. Swanson. Very bland, has no taste. A 1.0. Chestnut Hill. Much along the lines of the Swanson. I'll give it a rating of a 1.5. Costco, Kirkland's. That one's very good. Gonna have to give it the 3. Clover Valley. Hardly any taste at all. A 1.0. Hargis House. Pretty good. I will say a 2.5. Myers. Even though this one was just chicken, salt, and water, it's very bland. I would have to give it a 1.5. Last one, Kroger. Kind of bland also, but a step above the other bland ones. So 2.0. So based upon the taste, Kirkland came out 3.0, same as Tyson. They don't taste the same, they got a different taste, but they both taste very good to me. Sam's was 2.75, very close to those other two. Hargis House, which surprised me, was 2.5. Great Value was 2.5. Keystone 2.5. Those are the better tasting ones to me. They don't all 12 taste like just one thing. Several of them have their own distinct flavor. And of course, when you use them in a recipe, what you fix them in is going to influence the taste of the chicken and the dish as a whole. But just based upon taste, Tyson, Kirkland's is the winners. Sam's is a very close second. Hargis House, Great Value, and Keystone are all really close as well. The overall winner for the best value. In our search for the overall best value in canned chicken, let's look at where things stand right now before we add in prices. Each brand, again, in alphabetical order. How well they performed on the taste test, with 1 being the best, 3 not being so good. How well they performed on the ingredient list, which we looked at in part 1 of this series. How well they performed on the nutrition labels, also from video 1 in this series. The actual amount of meat in a can as a percentage of the total weight of the can, and the total score up to this point. With the lower the score, the better the value. We have scores ranging from 6 all the way up to 12. But I assure you, as close as those look, there are huge differences in the actual value. And when we add in the prices, you're going to be shocked at the best value and the least value. So based upon the total score at this point, Keystone is far ahead of everyone else with a score of 6. Sam's Club comes in second at 8.5. Kirkland and Tyson are tied for third with a 9. Will this hold up when we add in the prices? Let's find out. The brands, but they're not in alphabetical order this time, but the information that follows each is correct. Price per can as of November 20th, 2023. And those prices range from $2.14 a can all the way up to nearly $5 a can. A huge difference in the price of one 12.5-ounce can of canned chicken. Going from the price of a single can to $100 spent on each brand, and showing the number of cans you could actually buy with that $100. This column shows the number of cans times the price per can, as none of them will come out exactly $100, so you can see how many cans you would get and how much money you would have left over from your $100. the calories per $100 based upon the nutrition labels? Yes, I see it too. Some big differences, aren't there? We'll come back to that. For grams of protein per $100, protein being the primary reason we buy canned meats. And yes, there are some big differences there as well, isn't there? And the last thing is the pounds of meat per $100. And again, there are some big differences. From the previous chart, Keystone had a rating of 6, which was number 1. Sam's was second with a rating of 8.5. Look at the difference between the number of cans, the number of calories, the number of grams of protein, and the amount of pounds of meat between those two. Remember, Sam's was an 8.5 and Tyson was third with a 9.0, but look at the huge difference in the amounts that you get. Now consider Kroger. The overall winner of the best value in canned chicken? By far, it is Members Mark from Sam's Club. And now it's time to choose the new winner for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to take you to the computer screen, show you the selection, and announce the winner. And if that's you, you have to email me and let me know how to get back a hold of you to get those stoves to you. The first winner didn't do such, and now here we are picking a second one. Might be you. On the analytics page of our channel, pick the right video, hit the app that will pick the winner, select pick a winner. The comment must contain, and in this case it was count me in, and pick a winner. And it is Shay S. Shay S. You need to send me an email, and you can find my email address down in the description of this video, and we'll take it from there. If you're putting any kind of canned meat into your Prepper Pantry, you will really like this.